I'm Dawn. That's Mary. Hey, Mary, you got makeup on. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Looks awesome. Looks awesome. We look awesome, and we're feeling so good. See, we didn't put on any makeup. We just look this good from the views. We're going to look like Playboy centerfolds if you get us enough views. You would not believe it. It's going to be amazing. Either that or Russian women. I don't know. One of those two things going to happen.
You might get both.
Yeah, you might get both. All right. Last night was a game against Boston. They got us to play their game. They got us to push and shove. They got us to fight 3 fights. Ron Hainsey in a fight. Zach Hyman in a fight. I mean, come on. This stretches credulity. It wasn't that surprising that Naz got in a fight, but he was trying to fire us up. He fired us right up into getting 3 goals scored on us. That's not our game. And I know a lot of people want to go out and get this one or that one or the other one, and they'll kick their ass. They'll kick their ass. Is that really what we want to do? I got no problem with ass kicking. Believe me, it's one of my favorite things to have happen in a hockey game, but it's got to happen. Okay? When I was 10, 12 years old, I learned. When you say to people, my boyfriend's going to fuck you up, you don't really, you're not fighting your own battle. You're saying, don't mess with me because my brother's tough. But if you're, Austin Matthews said it best when someone said, don't you wish we had someone to bring revenge down on them for what they did to you, Detroit? Because, it's not a dirty hit. There's nothing wrong with that hit. It was unfortunately somewhere where it was really ouchy for Austin. And he's fine. He's doing okay.
What was his response?
Our revenge is our power play.
Ooh, good answer.
Exactly. This is what the modern game is. You can't stop and have all that going on. And when you do, you have decided to lose. You're going to play their game. You're going to slow down. You want to know why the puck's bouncing? Oh, well, I think it was a magical fairy coming from the realm of who knows where who came down and started making the puck bounce. Charlotte, what the hell are you doing?
She's on your chair behind you. You're going to love it when you see the replay.
Is she upstaging me back there?
Yeah, not now, but she was earlier.
She was earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always make such good friends with everyone. You should see how my family life is going. Anyway, no. And play our game. Like the Montreal Canadiens. 4 straight against a Philadelphia Flyer team that was basically the same team that had won the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row by doing, like the 70s version of what Boston did. Non-stop harassment. Dirty tricks, dives, enhancements, and then just kicking your ass every time they could. And you slow down, and you shove back, and you let them set the tempo. You interrupt your own trust, you interrupt your own skating, the puck starts to bounce. Don't act like God made the puck bounce, and that was another thing you had to face. The puck was bouncing because you weren't playing your game. And when you're not playing your game, people don't pass the same. They don't skate the same. The tempo became Boston's.
Yeah, they lost their rhythm.
They lost their rhythm. And this is a matter of maturity. You can get 10 big guys. You're not going to change the fact that Mike Babcock isn't interested in that kind of thing. It's not hockey. Yes, if somebody does something to you, you have the right to, do something. I don't want to take that away. I'm not one of these people who's against fighting. And you know how I feel about the baby shenanigans about, getting hurt. Oh, my, they might get hurt. Oh, my, they might get hurt. Yeah, so what? It's sports. Didn't somebody tell them they could get hurt? Didn't they know this? Didn't they see all along people getting hurt? Didn't they realize this? It's a choice. There's nice office jobs for anyone who can spell, okay? You don't want to be hit. You want to have, he's 6'3", 225 pounds. How are you suggesting he needs a guardian? Anywhere in the world, that guy is the guardian. He doesn't need one. And then I hear Don Cherry last night saying, all the players who are like this are American or European. I understand what he's arguing. He's arguing that the developmental system for hockey players is much rougher and you get knocked around. I mean, Mitch, he's like, he must be made of like super, like that stuff you make those, what are those things called? And they bounce. Super Ball, you can get, you can pick up the comics with them and stretch them.
And silly putty.
Silly putty. That's what he must be made of. Because he bounces. But he's been bouncing since he was 8 years old. I understand that part of Grape's argument, and I totally believe in it. But I don't think he's paying attention to the total developmental system. I think you'd find that a lot of these Americans like to be, they don't mind playing a rough game. I agree. The college game is like, you're in there like in a Sherman tank and everybody brings their Sherman tanks out there. No, that's not reality. And it's sports. It's supposed to be a placeholder for war. It's supposed to channel the aggressive and violent impulses of all youth, mostly boys, but there are women who fall in that category. They need some frickin' sports in a hurry. And you can't pretend like that's not real because you've decided to make a rule that it's not nice to hit one another. It's perfectly nice to hit one another. It's the reasons we hit each other that are the problem. And when they're the wrong reason, it's always a trip backwards, be it on the street or on the hockey rink. And you can't play that way.
And you said there are enforcers. Throughout all of life, there are enforcers. And in hockey, it's...
Well, the referees are supposed to enforce. Do they? No, they're blind as bats and often see things that don't happen and don't see things that do happen. And it's an imperfect system, okay?
Just like life itself.
Just like life itself. But if you let someone else, because they're going to be operating, when somebody does something cruel, and then you send somebody who is not evening their own score out to get them, that person is going to take another cruel act. And when does it stop? When does it stop? Do you really think, that murderer, take his arms off, take his legs off? What do you think he was thinking when he murdered? How perfect are you people? I mean, really, how perfect are you? That you think you can wish all this harm and bad things on people and say, well, they were bad. No. Be good. Just be good. Don't keep score. Okay? That, to me, is the difference from sports and life. In life, you don't keep score. In sports, you do. And then you can count all the little transgressions. But seriously, stop acting like we have to hurt people in order to win. The only idea of hockey is the Stanley Cup. Now, I know for years we haven't had any Stanley Cups, but we've had lots of good enforcers. We've had lots of people who would look out for the little guys on the team. That's not how it works. You can't play that way. Our game is possession hockey with pressure defense. I don't know how many times I got to tell you that. Yes, I'm fine if you want to have a fight with someone. But I'm not going to make the center of attention we got to do to them what they do to us. I want you to think about that a second. Is what they're doing wrong if you're going to do it back? Well, they did it first. No, that's not a judgment on morals. Ethics and morals don't work that way. Who does it first did it right, who does it second did it bad. Okay? Or, it's not going to work out that way. So, okay, let's get off that horse. Because that horse just really bothers me. Let's talk about the Shanahan Conquest. Okay, I know. I said I don't like him. And that's because he and I both have the same goal. Take over the world and show everyone the right way to live. I'm doing my thing with it, and I'm casual, and I'm comfortable, and I don't worry that much about how my hair looks, or, today I didn't feel like putting on all this Maple Leaf garb, because I've been wearing it, for 4 straight days, and I'm not the kind of person who worries what people think about the way I look reflecting on what I say. And I know there's a lot of pressure for Brendan. I can say it really mean, too. I have ways of pronouncing Brendan that would really get on his nerves. But there's ways that Channy has to act, but he doesn't have to be so controlled. He could enjoy this. He could loosen up. But you see, it's not just hockey. It's not just the Maple Leafs he's trying to change. He's trying to change the whole world. And as he gets glory, even Shakespeare would agree. And I'm going to read a quote that I'm going to change the words that are hard to pronounce. They're not big words. They're like the word ceaseth. Okay? I'm not going to say that easily. So I just said it because I focused. And I did study, diction. Glory is like a circle in the water, which never ceases to enlarge itself till by broad spreading it dispersed to naught in every direction. As he changes this idea of what hockey business is, what it's for, refocuses on the idea that the only reason to play hockey is to compete for the Stanley Cup, and only competing for the Stanley Cup is the only real success, is when you win that Stanley Cup. Everything else is a failure. And you've got to sort of change your attitude toward failure. You've got to change your attitude toward all these things we've learned from whatever society. And don't get me started. I'll be here 3 days. Do you think I can't do 3 days? You don't know me very well.
She can do 3 days.
I figured it all out. I'm outside of the box. They can't drag me back in. They will not drag me back in the box.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
Yeah, she is, probably. And here's, you don't need to look far to see how broken the business of hockey is. And Shanahan always says, take care of the business. The hockey will take care of itself. All you want to fix a game that's not broken. I agree, not every rule is my cup of tea, but it's the way it went. Now, let's not worry about the hockey. Let's worry about the business. A business that says to someone, why, you're so incredibly successful. Not won any Stanley Cups, just successful. What does that mean? Somebody told me this week, McDavid, he must be great. He's making the most amount of money.
When somebody is little and they're playing hockey and they really like it and they imagine being on a hockey team, I don't think they think about, I'm going to make the most money out of all of the other hockey players. I think they think about, I'm going to win the Stanley Cup.
Well, right. And that's the thing. It's business itself that is destroying itself by being bad at the very thing that it is. The business around hockey needs to run like business. You need to invest in what brings you closer to your goal, get rid of what's keeping you from your goal, and continually move forward. You need to provide a certain atmosphere for your employees of safety and security and a feeling that they're doing something that matters. The logo on the front, that they're part of something. When you're part of something, you give yourself over to it, everything else falls into place. And that's exactly what he means. Take care of the business. The hockey will take care of itself. So, what's it going to have to do to fix this business? Take over the world. Because the world is broken right now. The world thinks that they should go out in the morning and other people should have a handicap sheet going, yes, oh right, I can't be mean to you. You're already having a bad day, aren't you? No. The world is just as miserable as you are. If you all go out there and take care of your own damn selves, but advertising tells you, you thought you were fine, but you don't have this. If you don't have this, you can't be fine. Look how fine these people are. They're way finer than you. And you become dissatisfied. And when that's Gretzky or Lemieux, when that's the idea that Austin Matthews is so precious, we can't let anything happen to him. We have to get him a big brother who, trust me, would be smaller. His big brother would be smaller than him. To take care of him. All of this is not taking care of the business of hockey. You've got to take care of the business.
Those little guys are hotheads. I know. I'm from a family of little people.
Yeah, she's never thrown a... Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, she's got one of the most notorious tempers. She's better now, but that's how it happens when you get older. Mm-hmm. And then hockey wants money because businesses want money. But hockey has no clue how to get money. Hockey doesn't know you provide an excellent product, reliable, don't provide a lot of gray area where people think this might be fixed, and you can give people a product that they will pay through the nose for. Yes, Gretzky made the league a lot of money. He was a very exciting player, but the only reason we even noticed him was the dilution of talent at the time. And the concentration of championships for the Islanders made the fact that this expansion team, the Edmonton Oilers, could put this together. But Gretzky didn't do it by himself. And he reaped a lot of benefit of it. And then, once you're to that point, you're saying, what can we do to make more Gretzkys and less hockey players? Mm. And I'm not saying Gretzky didn't play hockey, but throwing a body check, probably not something he did since he was 10. And being checked, well, you check him in the open ice, you can kiss your career goodbye. And he is the one who had all these big brothers to protect him. But Austin Matthews is the size of those big brothers. Mitch bounces. Zach Hyman seems to have a sign on his back that says, please kick my ass. Please kick my ass. Because every time somebody takes him into the boards, they do something dirty or illegal. And I think Zach's trying to do it. But believe me, last night, Zach's hit was a little late. But it was not dirty. I didn't really get a good look at the other one. But, McAvoy had a concussion and he was shook up. Oh, well, that goes. So you can't equate these stars' ability is based on the money you're making. And you can't pay them because you can't pay them the most. This whole issue, this is probably going to go down in history. Like, if I go down in history at all, in the record books or in the histories, it'll say, having a serious problem with Connor McDavid. I don't. I understand what he does, but I more understand what he doesn't do. The Edmonton Oilers have to play almost short-handed in order to get in a position where McDavid can do his wonderful stuff. He's got amazing skills, but they're not necessarily in hockey. He can shoot. He skates ridiculously fast to a point where it's almost not necessary to go that fast, and he can blow through things. You give him the puck flying away, good luck. He's scoring, or the guy with him is, and that's just how it is. And when you have that kind of thing, you should get paid well. But to say that he's the best hockey player because he gets the most points, it's not necessarily mutually exclusive, but you've got to watch the game. You've got to see what's happening. If a center can't win a face-off, can't go into the corner, can't come out of the corner, can't take it through traffic unless he's going 9 million miles an hour, then the idea of energy, the faster you're going, the smaller you can be and still have the same impact. That's how it works. And you can't then go, well, you must not understand Connor McDavid because you don't understand. I understand his $12.5 million. But if you're going to think that he's the best because he's paid the most, then you're not understanding hockey. Is he scoring more than anybody? Yes, he really, really is. But I don't think it's by that much. And I really think this need to have another Gretzky, this need to have a Lemieux, this crazy need. The league will die. We won't make any money. We have to have people who don't necessarily play the whole game, but they're exciting. Of course you need excitement. Why don't you educate the public in the damn game? I mean, I spend too much time explaining hockey to people who follow hockey all the time. Is that even possible? If you watch, it's like the thing with Jake Gardner. If you watch, and it's fine, you don't have to like him. If you wanted to hate Jake Gardner, but don't say he's a lousy player because he's not. When you say you want to get rid of him for a bag of pucks, admit why that is.
Why is it?
Because they don't like him.
Oh.
And because he likes Bieber. And because he's from Minnesota. And remember, anybody from America is instantly suspect.
Right.
Now you're all complaining that Josh Levo is a great player. Shanahan conceded that Josh Levo has very excellent skills. The problem is he's got redundant skills. So unlike everybody else who go, well, he's talented, we got to keep him. We traded him to get a person who we hope will be good like Josh Levo, but later. Right now, we already got our Josh Levo. We don't need another one. You got a younger Josh Levo? We'll order in a few years. Yeah. So that's what we traded for. These are the ideas. They go against what you feel. You say, nobody's ever done that, Dawn, so it must not be right. No, what about the fact that nobody's ever done it, and so for once it's going to work? 50 years we've lost while hiring enforcers, while making sure we enshrine stars, by elevating people above the logo on the front, by not talking about the history, which is the logo on the front. 50 years, 13 Stanley Cups. Don't think we did this because it was an accident or God wanted it to happen or there wasn't Gary Bettman yet. Well, there wasn't Gary, but he's not fixing it. Do what Shanahan is asking you to do. Change your mind. Free your mind instead. Okay, that's the revolution. And we're revolutionaries, especially me. She's just going along for the ride, so don't execute her if it comes to that. Well, don't execute. Execute Shar! You've got to be a revolutionary because everybody is looking at this all wrong. It's a team game played by men. It's physical. It's done so that men can get, a lot of aggression out and play an organized game enforced by officials, not very well. We all agree on this. What do you want? 6 referees, 1 referee per interaction? That's not going to work. Look,
well, that would slow the game down as well.
And it would. And I mean, you don't get to pretend like this is your street gang. This is hockey. Take care of the business. Hockey will take care of itself. I don't have to like the guy to know he's right. I don't have to like the guy to know that what he's looking at, if people start to really buy into this, it is going to change the world. Stop admiring the frame around the picture and start seeing what's in the picture. This is huge for people that they think, yeah, but everybody says, so what about you? But everybody, my community, your community? I don't know. To me, community used to mean like the people who live next door and down the street and whatnot. That's a community. Not all the people who think like me, because if I'm only with the people who think like me, I can't learn. And I gotta learn. Do you know what human beings are insatiably moved toward? It's supposed to be learning. But a lot of what's happening in the last couple hundred years is that people start sharing with each other and they think that just sitting and listening is learning. It's not. You've got to change who you are. Every time you get a new picture, you have a new point of view. It's, I don't know how to explain this well enough to you guys. And just like it was with my own personal struggle, and I'm sure Mary's personal, well, I know it was. You got to get rid of the crap you're using to distract yourself. You got to get rid of these ideas of enforcers and well, that guy's too good to play hockey. We'll just let him do what he's good at. No, he's got to be a hockey player. This is a team game.
And in life, when you think that you need an enforcer, they actually become your jailer.
They do.
I can imagine that happening within the game as well.
Well, I think that it's that point with many of these stars feel like they're not okay out there. And once you start to believe that in order to play a full game of hockey, you need a big brother to look out for you. How does that sound? Just on the face of it. I know. I'm giving you guys a lot of crap. Guess what? Because you're human beings and you're smart. Whoever told you weren't smart, if they did, they were trying to not compete with you. We're all born to be perfect at what we do. Yes, there's birth defects, diseases, things happen, injuries, whatnot. I'm not wanting to hear about that. I'm talking about people who tune on this YouTube channel and listen to me. You are equal to me. You may not do all the same things as well as me. You may do a whole bunch of things better than me. But ultimately, you have as much ability to learn, as much ability to grow, and somewhere along the line, little Brendan Shanahan realized that though he might be really good at hockey, he was also really able to absorb this information. And when you get outside the box, you keep seeing that the box is even smaller than you ever believed. That once you can look at it fresh and say, this is our blueprint, we're going to hire this coach who demands people take responsibility for themselves. We're going to get this general management that doesn't play games with business. It says, this is our bottom line. This is what we have to spend. I'm really sorry, but we can't do anything about that. That says, we'd love to keep you, but we've got no space for you right now. You'll have to go somewhere else and get a guy that maybe later when we do wish we had that guy, we do have that guy basically. We got another guy. And that's the thing. No player in hockey is sacrosanct. Nobody is bigger than the game. If you become bigger than the game, then there's no point in anybody watching. Then you may as well make movies and we'll all go to those. Put on our 3D glasses and see you prance about. But it's true. Nobody is arranging this. Nobody is keeping Toronto from winning except you. And the way you think. And the way we all think. So, comes Brendan Shanahan to say, we're going to do it this way. Just try. Just try. And maybe he needs perfect hair and perfect suits and perfect, he's that one interview is like holding his knee for like a week. It doesn't look natural anymore, dude. Okay. I think he thought his knee was going to get away. Hey, get that knee. I need that thing.
Save it.
No, but that's the thing. It doesn't make an enforcer a bad person. It doesn't make a star a bad person. I'm not saying I hate Connor McDavid. I'm not saying I hate any of these people. I love hockey. But I love hockey. And the object of hockey, Gordie Howe, first thing he told me, the object of hockey is to get the puck and go put it in the other guy's net. Anything else is just a style. And that's really true. Well, okay, we're probably going to have to do another show on the Shanahan Conquest.
I think so.
Subscribe, share with your friends, and thank you so much for watching. And I'm just going to get better and more obnoxious. But better, that's what you like about me. You wouldn't be here, right? I'll be back.